The culture has shifted in America. AOC abandons wokeness and embraces MAGA. You guys got to check this out.
Great story or sporting event or movie, there's always a turning point where all of the energy shifts towards the good guys. And if we are looking at our own political timeline as a movie, then this is that turning point. This is Donald Trump, the Trump dynasty, with his two sons, Eric and Don, and Robert F. Kennedy, leading the entire 25,000 people in Madison Square Garden in a USA chant. Right before the heavyweight champion of the world, jumps the fence, hands Donald Trump the champion. Incredible moment. And then kneels down and praises Trump and vibes with Trump. This is the undisputed world heavyweight champion who shouted out Trump after his victory.
Thank you to President Donald Trump for being here tonight.
And then hit the Trump.
Can I get
Honestly, President about as good as Trump is.
Hey, what do you guys think about my version of the Donald Trump? Check it out. USA, let's go.
Come on, dude. It's just great. Listen to that. More USA chants from the 25,000 people that are in downtown New York City, Madison Square Garden. The fighter talking about how he's proud to be a Christian, proud to be a Trump supporter. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the vibe shift that we have been waiting for. This is officially the vibe shift. The vibe shift is finally here.
The energy all across America has shifted dramatically in just a short number of weeks since Donald Trump got elected. It seems that no longer will people look at you sideways for saying that you supported Donald Trump, because Trump just stands for common sense in a world filled with insanity. And I mean, you see it right here. Madison Square Garden, the UFC event, everyone was on their feet chanting USA. I personally have not seen the USA so united in my lifetime. I don't care what anybody tells me. Trump losing New York is very suspicious to me. Don't you find it odd that every state that does not allow photo ID just so happened to go Kamala Harris's way?
Up and down the card, saying that this moment in American history is justice for Peanut the squirrel, and that Doge is the organization that's going to save the federal government. The young men getting activated and getting interested in their federal government, in their culture, is going to save culture. This is the greatest existential threat to the machine, who has existed on feminine and feline energy, boxing men out, degrading and discouraging men so that they lose focus and lose track of this society and their place in it. Now, you've seen that in multiple hoaxes. You've seen that with the aggressive, obnoxious energy of fraud like AOC. Remember when she didn't have any handcuffs? Yeah. But AOC's own electorate seems to be turning on her. AOC's district saw a massive shift to Trump during presidential election. This is very interesting. AOC's home base is seeing red. Far-left Democrat New York Rep. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez constituency swung towards President-elect Trump by one of the largest margins in the entire city. So all those people chanting for President Trump inside of Madison Square Garden at the UFC event, yeah, that is AOC's constituents. In 2020, 77% of AOC's congressional district, parts of Bronx and the Queens, cast their vote for Joe Biden. Trump snagged just 22%. Analysis of voting records shows. That yawning 55% gap was cut in half this week, with Vice President Kamala Harris securing under 65% of the ballots cast in New York 14 to Trump's 33%, according to the unofficial voting records. So AOC's district is swinging to Trump. The once deep blue city saw roughly a 15-point swing overall towards Trump since 2020, Harris raking in roughly 68% of the votes compared to a little more than 30% for a Republican nominee. Like the rest of the country, New York saw a big shift rightward on election night. Voters soundly rejected Biden-Harris-AOC record of inflation, open borders, and progressivism, says New York State GOP spokesman. The left far-left firebrand's own outer borough district, notably overlaps with the Bronx neighborhood, actually went Republican. There's a first Republican to hold public office in the borough in nearly 2 decades. Everyone sees AOC as a darling of the left, and coming from a district that reflects these politics.
People who live in New York City are no longer just blindly voting left, believing the lies that the media tells you. Because if you think about it, how long have the Democrats been in power in New York City? And do you think New York City is better now than it was when Rudy Giuliani was in charge? Absolutely not. I feel like the city is a mess. Every time I go into it, I see rats everywhere. And I saw homeless people with their pants around their ankles acting crazy. This stuff should not go on in a city. And that's not even going into the economics of having Democratic leadership in New York City. It's just an overall mess, and it is a shadow of its former self. So I guess people are just waking up and saying, what do we have to lose? We might as well vote Republican, see what they have to offer.
He says that she may actually potentially be under threat of losing her seat. A reminder that Donald Trump spent the 2024 campaign for months in New York. He did because of lawfare supported by AOC. He did multiple campaign rallies in the Bronx and in Harlem, went to a barber shop in the Bronx, talked with those guys, didn't get a haircut, but asked for one. Very interesting and great moment in the campaign. So AOC is starting to feel the pressure. The fraudulence of AOC's career is beginning to unwind, and she's starting to realize that just engaging in the step-by-step woke progressive political playbook is not going to cut it in her district any longer. So, ladies and gentlemen, AOC has begun a subtle evolution in her political career. Subtle changes to AOC's X account that her progressive followers missed. Famously progressive Democrat Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez raised eyebrows by removing her pronouns from her X account. The move from the squad maker, 35, is seen as one of the most liberal members of Congress. It's seen by some as a sign that the cultural tide is turning with Donald Trump's win. So wait a second, AOC removed her pronouns? Let's go ahead and check. RIP AOC's pronouns 2020 through 2024. So this was AOC's account on X before, and here it is now. Has AOC explained what this change might be about? AOC removes her pronouns from bio. AOC next year. Oh no! When she switches parties, how will we know what to call AOC? Well, now that her pronouns in her bio are gone, says Riley Gaines. AOC took the pronouns out of her bio. We'll continue to refer to her as dip. Oh, well, there you go. All right. No more pronouns for AOC. Also, representative to Congresswoman. The election killed the woke era. This is what many are saying, that wokeness is now officially dead. AOC as one of the typhoid Mary contagion points of wokeness, now admitting total defeat here. The occasional cortex, AOC, why did you remove your pronouns? How are we supposed to know your sex and gender now? AOC has regularly said that she's a huge fan of pronouns. This
Sorry
is from
about
2 years
that.
ago.
They used to be on there. Let me go in and check.
Please add pronouns.
And see if I can
to your
add them.
profile.
Sorry about that. They used to be there. I guess they fell off, but...
Thank you for pointing out, says AOC, 2 years ago, when her party had power. How transactional, how unbelievably fake. Why does it surprise anybody that somebody who would pull this stunt would be so fake? Remember, she was just yelling into an empty parking lot. There was nothing on the other side of this fence.
I will tell you exactly why she screamed into an empty fence. Because they would get away with it for years. It wasn't until Elon Musk bought Twitter that we would see these people for who they are. Absolute liars. Because let's be honest, do you think that CNN and MSNBC would have showed the other side of the fence if there was nothing there? Absolutely not. They want AOC to be a hero. The media has been exposed for what they are, frauds. They will do whatever it takes to prop up the Democrats and do whatever it takes to make the Republicans look like evil people that don't like you. People can see right through it.
Your vibe shift. Yes, that's exactly correct. AOC is bashing Kamala Harris. Hold on. The question is, do you buy the argument that woke loses elections? Like saying Latinx.
I really don't like fake people.
and they're sick and tired of fake politicians. And so what I actually think is worse is saying something you don't believe. And so if during the entire time in campaign season, you're saying that you're down with trans people or like the LGBT community, and then you lose an election, and then the next day you say all that stuff was wrong. I actually think what people are more upset about is someone was doing something they didn't believe and just saying something. Like, if you actually weren't about that life, why did you campaign as though you were?
Which accounts are you subscribing to? I'm interested, like, genuinely. Let me know which ones specifically, which accounts, which podcasts, etc.
What she just said there is incredibly daft. She wants to know what podcasts her followers watch in order to reach new audiences, but if she's only going on the podcasts in which her followers watch, she's only reaching the same people over and over again. That is a logic flaw. But I just don't understand how a woman like this seizes power in the United States government. It really does boggle my mind, but I think people are starting to realize we don't want these politicians that are so vapeyist. They stand for nothing. They're going to say whatever it takes to race bait or just make the other side look bad. How about you just propose your vision for America and your constituents rather than attacking the other side, which is all the Democrats have done since Donald Trump took office in 2016. So I do think what AOC is doing is pretty smart. I will give it to her. She is pivoting away from all this woke nonsense and she's going back to reality. It will pay off on her behalf, but I still think we could have way better people in her position. I do not believe that she is the best that New York City has to offer. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this down below. Do you think the Democrats as a whole are going to evolve and get away from this woke craziness? Or do you think they're going to keep going down that rabbit hole and keep getting more and more radical? What do you think their next move is? I'd love to hear that. And if you enjoyed, make sure to smash that like, comment, subscribe, and wish you guys nothing but the best. Till next time.